Hello, friends. Welcome back. I hope you're having a wonderful time zone. If you're new, you can call me Mifa, and I like cozy games, books, and lifestyle. Today's video is pretty exciting. I'm finally showing you guys my main house in Palia. This video has been long awaited. It's taken me months to finish this house, so I'm just happy that it's finally done. I'm excited to show you, and I hope you enjoy. I'm hoping that there's at least something that you can get inspiration from. But I'm gonna try to link all the videos that I have pretty much for every single room. I have a tutorial for those who are interested, and I will have that linked down below and probably in one of the corners. If you like videos like this, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get into this house tour. So this is the layout of my house. I have one grand harvest house, 2 large rooms, 3 medium rooms, and then I have 8 hallways. And the rest of my lot is this lush fairy forest. And if it weren't for the stinky decor limit, I'd probably have this entire plot filled with just trees, flowers, but as of now, that's not possible, but maybe one day. So this is the entrance to my plot. I wanted my house to look hidden from this lush fairy forest. And the entrance walks up to a bellflower grand fountain. I adore this piece. I think it's so pretty, and I love the tiny little plushies that randomly float in it. It just brings me so much joy, so I definitely knew that I needed this at the front of my plot. And from the fountain, I have 2 pathways, one that leads towards the house and one that leads towards all of my crafting stations and garden. Again, I wanted this to feel very wooded. I wanted all the flowers, all the trees I could get my hands on. And I wanted the landscaping to feel quite dense, kind of like you were being hugged by nature. And this look just brings me a lot of comfort. I think that it feels very cozy, kind of magical, and straight out of a fantasy book. And if you didn't know, I love me a good fantasy book. I wanted to figure out a way of transforming my space into a fantasy book. And I think I did a pretty good job, but here is my garden. And to the right of that, I have a crafting area with all of my sawmills. And towards the end, my repair station. And I have all of that in the Kilima Pavilion. I'm a big fan of this structure. I think it works perfectly for crafting stations. You could even get a little creative with it, like maybe an outdoor kitchen, which that might be a future build, so stay tuned for that. To the right, I have my garden, and guys, this is not the most efficient garden, and this one is specifically for aesthetics. So if you like a more efficient garden, there's a ton of guides on Pinterest, even on YouTube. If you like an aesthetic one, here's one that you could base yours off of. I just wanted something a bit more simple, cozy, and random fact, this is actually one of the first things I finalized on my plot. For a long time, I had an empty house and just my garden, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. And to the right of that, I have 2 more Kilima pavilions for more crafting areas. This first one has my crafting bench, my modification table, as well as my looms. And then past that, I have all of my furnaces. So my heavy smelter and my glass furnace. And it gets a little hot in here. I always have these going because I'm constantly needing stone. Oh my goodness, clay. If you followed any of my tutorials, I'm always needing clay. And I always find that I'm needing like glass too. So this area is always running hot. But past this, it's actually one of my latest additions to my plot. For a while, I had this closed off, but then I realized I needed a pathway to Bahari. It was getting kind of annoying, like running through this dense forest, but I'm happy I finally have a path that leads to Bahari. So there's easy access to both entrances from my plot. And I kind of mirrored it by adding like the bellflower planters as well as the standing lamp. So even though they're different, there's some similarities, which adds to the overall theme of my fairy forest. But now we're gonna go back to the entrance where we have the bellflower fountain. And then we can finally get to the inside of my house. But before we get into that, I wanna show you one of my favorite spots. With the outside area of my plot, I love this pathway from this view with the bellflower fountain in the background and all of the trees, the flowers, with like the spring fever lights. This area just feels so zen to me. It feels so magical. And there are times where I'll just log into Palia, set my character right in the center of this little pathway as I listen to the ambiance, the music in Palia. It just feels really cozy, and so I wanted to share that with you. But enough dilly-dallying, we are done with the outside, and now we can move inside and I can show you the finished product of my Palia house. On the deck, I don't have too much, I just have 2 sitting areas, but going in, I have my Grand Harvest house. This build has taken me so long, and if you've watched some of my videos, I've always been so scared to decorate in the Grand Harvest house. I've been avoiding it for a very long time now, and so I'm just really happy that it's finally done. I mean, I'm probably gonna end up changing things eventually, but I think I'm good for a while, and I'm really happy with the product so far. But what's helped me with the Grand Harvest house was splitting it up into 4 different sections. I have a storage area, an OOTD corner, reading nook, and living room. Then upstairs, I did an aquarium. And I just thought splitting it up made it less of a beast because you didn't have to focus on having a huge open area. Just cutting it up makes it a little bit easier for you to decide like what to do with each space or corner. But we're gonna start off with my living room. Here I did a custom fireplace with bookshelves. I also used the new Lily Rattan furniture line. I've said this in multiple videos, but I'm just obsessed with it. I love the neutrals, love the green, so I thought it was perfect for my space. As for the fireplace, I used some of the builder blocks, as well as Peltec items for the actual fireplace. There's wood pavers above that to make a little shelf. And then for the bookshelf, I used the Spring Fever trellis, as well as the industrial wall shelf. Those 2 items are some of my favorites to decorate with. I use them quite a bit in this space, but I think it's nice to have certain objects that you use in every single room. That way your house has an overall theme. But moving forward, we're going into my reading nook. This is actually the first corner I ever designed in the Grand Harvest house. I made a little platform with a spiral staircase, custom bookshelves with the industrial wall shelf and wood pillars. And overall, I'm a big fan of this. I did end up changing my original tutorial a little bit because I added some stone crates towards the front of the build with more wood pillars. But I kind of have an attachment to this corner because this is one of the first tutorials I did on my YouTube channel. It will always have a special place in my heart. But just imagine sitting here with your favorite book, listening to some lo-fi music, eating a yummy snack with some hot cocoa. Those are the vibes that I'm striving for. And I feel like you get that with this reading nook. And then to the left of that, we have a little OOTD corner. There's so many cute romanceables in Palia, so of course we need an area where we can hurry up, check our fit before we go flirt. So we have a ton of plants, some more industrial wall shelves, the Ravenwood mirror. Oh my goodness, guys, this mirror is so pretty, especially in the autumn color palette. Honestly, the autumn color palette is one of my favorite palettes. I use it quite frequently, but I just think autumn color palette with Ravenwood mirror, perfect combination. I also added some cozy baskets to add a little bit of extra storage. I do this a lot throughout all of the rooms, but honestly, I just really enjoy the cozy furniture line. There's so many pieces that you can use in multiple spaces. I actually ended up making the reading nook and the OOTD corner mirror each other. So at the beginning of the Grand Harvest house, we have these 2 platforms, and I think that this just makes the entrance feel a lot more grand. It's very symmetrical. There's a few differences, but it adds a lot of depth and dimension to the build. Having these 2 corners mirror each other, and the fact that they are platformed so everything's not the same level. And to the left, before we go into my kitchen, I have this little open storage area with some of the building blocks, industrial shelves, some cozy baskets. I'm a big fan of open storage, especially when everything is organized. It just makes me feel like I have my life together, so I really like this corner. To the right of that is my kitchen. This is the first room that I had done in my entire Palia house. It also is another one of my first tutorials that I posted on this YouTube channel. I'm very happy with how this turned out. I specifically love these little corners that I have for storage. This is what started my obsession with the industrial wall shelf. Merging these 2, Spring Fever trellis and adding those shelves make the perfect bookcase. And I find pairing a lot of the homestead items, books, Even random plates of food make for perfect bookshelf decorations, specifically in a kitchen. And here's my pantry. This is mostly storage, so I have some chests, and I want to highlight the pots and pans with the dried foliage that's peeking at the top of the doorway. It's one of my favorite parts, and I think it just adds a nice little touch. Then moving on, I have a spice rack, a fridge, more storage, and that's mostly it for my kitchen. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Then beside my kitchen, I have a dining room. I used the same bookshelf design that I did in the kitchen. So these are the spring fever trellis with industrial wall shelves. I added books, more food items. I know this wall is blank. For some reason, my game is bugged, but this used to be the jaded tile wall, so ignore that. Then the little hallway that I have attached to the dining room is a little tea nook. Nothing too special, just an area where you can sit, enjoy your morning tea, look outside, read a book. Just a great way to start your day. And I actually ended up switching out my old table for the Lily Rattan table. I just love it so much with the benches. One thing I like doing is mix and matching chairs. So use benches, use regular chairs, and I find that that brings a lot of life to a table. And that's it for my dining room and kitchen. Before we go upstairs, I wanted to show you this little storage nook that I have below my stairs. I have some chests, some treasure chest barrels, just to make it look like the space is full of storage. But upstairs, I have an aquarium. It took me a long time to decide what I wanted to do for this space. I thought about doing a library, a reading nook, a bar, but I did want to have a place where I can display some of my fish. So I decided to combine a library with an aquarium. That way my walls aren't just filled with fish tanks. And surprisingly, even though it took me a long time to decide what I wanted to do for this room, and I hate fishing, this ended up being one of my favorite rooms in the entire house. I'm also not done with this space. There are a few fish that I still need to catch and I would like to switch out, but that's a future me problem. And for now, I'm happy with this space. I could see myself coming up here after a long day with a book if I'm tired of reading in my nook downstairs, so I can watch the sunset from the window with my little fishy friends. But now we're gonna go downstairs and we're gonna head into my library. Now, this room is the most different from the tutorials on my channel. Unfortunately, we have a stinky decor limit, so I had to downsize a lot of the items that I had in my library, but I'm still happy with how it turned out. And what's better than having one reading nook? Having two reading nooks. So directly in the back, I have a little reading nook that consists of a hallway with a bay window at the back. I love this book staircase. I would love to create a larger one in the future. And below this window, I have a little bench made out of industrial wall shelves. I wish you could sit on this, but I added some plushies to make it feel a little bit more cozy. But that's it for the library. And now we're gonna go through the living room into my bedroom. To add some privacy, I added a wall at the front of the room just because we don't have doors in Palia. And to the right, I have a closet. Beside that, another OOTD corner with some shelves and books, of course. In the center of the room, I have a bed. It's the Ravenwood bed with a bellflower curtain and a rug just to make it feel grand. And on the other wall, I have a dresser with some stacked mirrors. And beside that, I have a little study corner. In this space, you have a desk where you can get work done. Overall, I'm really happy with how the bedroom turned out. I think it's chic and sophisticated, and I wish my bedroom IRL looked like this. I would do anything for a bed like this. It's gorgeous. And now we're moving on to the bathroom. It is quite grand, but I wanted it to match the bedroom. On this wall, I have spaces where you can place beauty products, sit down, you can do your makeup, and in the center, I have a laundry room. This is a dream of mine. I would love to have a laundry room connected to my bedroom or bathroom. I'm just not a fan of carrying loads of laundry to the opposite side of the house, so this would be ideal for me. On the wall beside that, this is where I have my walk-in shower. In order to create a glass wall, I used brush-tailed dragonflies. I hope we get glass walls or glass building blocks in the future. I think that would be such a fun addition to all the building blocks that we have in Palia. Then beside that, I have a sink with mirrors so you can brush your teeth, do your skincare before bed. Can we take a second to appreciate how beautiful the Capital Chic mirrors look with the bellflower sink? I'm a big fan of it. I like the gold with the wood and the marble. It's such a good combo. Then beside that, I have an area where you can take a bath. Even though we have a walk-in shower, I'm personally a bubble bath girly, so this is necessary. Then I have a toilet right here with some industrial wall shelves for storage. For privacy, I used a lily rattan partition. And this is my bathroom. I wanted to give a little shout out to the mosaic vine tile floor. Isn't this gorgeous? I love the leaf motif with the blue. I think it goes perfectly with the waves of water wallpaper. Usually I don't decorate with this much blue, but I really liked how both the bathroom and the bedroom turned out and how there's aspects of blue in both spaces. So I think that the rooms flow really well together. I can't believe I'm saying this, but that is it for the tour. This has been so much fun creating all these different tutorials for you, and I can't believe this era is done. It's finished, and I'm really excited for the future builds we're going to be doing together. Thank you to everyone who has watched my videos or even watched all the way through this. It truly means the world to me. If you like videos like this, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me grow the channel. If you like a live setting, I do stream over on Twitch. It's just at MifaPuff on Twitch, which that would be linked down below with all my other socials. Again, thank you so much for your time and watching this. It truly means the world to me. I will be back next week with another video, and until then, please make sure to stay safe, drink water, eat food, please take care of yourself, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye, everybody.